Dia 371, a Guerra de 20. E... à noite.
Just a heads up, we're expecting those troublemakers at Disrupt to attempt to hack the channel during the broadcast, so keep an eye on the interference screen and stay out of the orange. Let's keep the news on the air. It's important, now more than ever.
Tá, a gente não pode chegar no laranja, isso não é um bom sinal. Não tem ventilador mais.
So, Julia's team have asked me to ask you to keep it light.
Ih, tem coisa nova aqui.
It means to do that thing you do where you turn politicians into humans.
Mudou. Isso aqui mudou também.
Talking about the war, politics in general.
They do know this is the news, don't they?
You didn't hear this from me,
It's over
but
to Patrick Bannon for all the day's sports board highlights, including all the tabletop action.
apparently there's a crew at Team HQ right now.
Olha isso, mano, tá muito bonitão agora.
They'll get it on the late news.
It's on.
Oh, great. So they get the brains and we get the performing monkey.
Sometimes you sound just like him, you know.
How are you?
It is what it is.
Where is Jeremy? Provavelmente foi preso. Quase certeza.
I miss him too, you know.
10 seconds, everybody.
Rumpled old sod.
Don't.
Going in 5, 4, 3.
A Jenny continua.
Good evening.
E a
This is the
Megan também.
National Nightly News. I'm Megan Wolfe.
Mano,
It's the
mudou completamente
140th
as
day
coisas.
of war. Our main headlines tonight. Company of Heroes. Skirmishes on land and sea again today as our armed forces tested the mettle of the World Council's illegal blockade. Advance's strategy of multiple small-scale incursions into the disputed zone is certainly keeping the enemy on high alert, unable to work out where or when the next strike will come. Sadly, however, more casualties were reported today, and as the weeks and months of this war make ever more demands on our armed services, those numbers will, tragically, only continue to rise. Don't starve. Advance's food programme moved from strength to strength today as rationing depots were opened in the last remaining unfed areas of the territory. The rationing depots have been constructed in record time, and the government's agricultural coordination strategy has seen shelves restocked with increasing regularity.
Daquele site você pode pegar de graça a imagem. Quer dizer, você paga, né? Mas você pode pegar de graça com os negócios na frente.
Whether those smaller communities which are only now starting to receive help could have been better and quicker served. 7 days to die. The recent decision to allow those with long-term health conditions to access transition centres has today been declared an overwhelming success. Previously available only to those in their final years, the expansion of the service has been met with relief by the many organisations calling for it to be opened up to the wider community. With dwindling medical supplies leaving many of our most vulnerable facing chronic pain,
Mano, tô curioso pra ver o que vai ter nesse capítulo agora.
Centers have found themselves stretched to capacity.
Vai ter gente passando aqui nos telhados?
More than 11% of the population have thus far failed to register for a team membership card, a worrying statistic given that the cards are a legal requirement from midnight tonight. While applications are still open for those who like to run fashionably late, they can expect a few tricky questions from Advance. Start me up. Disrupt spokesman Alan James held an impromptu rally today in the northern city of Manklipool. Large crowds gathered to hear the band speaker prove Disrupt are still able to capture the public's imagination. A representative from the Manklipool Community Cohesion Team described the event as mostly peaceful. But it looks like Disrupt aren't going quietly into the night. And finally tonight, our mutual friend. Bail was denied in the High Court today for shamed former National Nightly News anchor Jeremy Donaldson. The presenter will be transferred to new lodgings at Pension Ridge Prison, while the lengthy preparations for his trial, which is still 18 months away. Since being taken into custody 10 weeks ago in this very studio, little has been heard from our former colleague. Despite how things ended, we wish him the best, and we'll be sure to bring you all the details of that court case every night.
Acho que eu já entendi o que é esse negócio do meio já.
With the war about to enter its 21st week, I'll be chatting with Peter Clement live in an exclusive team talk from his home in Lanfordshire. Don't go away.
A gente pode tirar do sinal.
Second of tonight's National Nightly News.
Esse daqui do meio vai ser tipo o negócio de plateia, né? Que a gente vai fazer os barulhinhos lá de risada, de aprovação, aplauso. Bem na entrada vai ter esse negócio aqui, é sério? Tanto
Later in
momento
the
pra
programme,
dar
I'm
ruim.
thrilled to say I'll be We'll see.
Trocou
Who's going to
sozinho,
be
não
treating
fui eu
us
não.
to a world premiere of her new single. And then after that, in part 3, we've got something new I promise you won't want to miss. But first tonight, let's check in with Prime Minister Peter Clement, who's coming to us through the magic of television all the way from his home in Lanfordshire. Are you receiving me, Prime Minister?
Loud and clear, Miss Wolf. Loud and clear.
Well, let's start with the obvious. What's that in your hand, Prime Minister?
Cheeky cow. But yeah, it's true. 75 days without an
Today
alcohol.
to the people of Manklepool, and apparently after I had left.
That way.
Well, I made a promise to Mrs. C, and as my old man used to say,
A promise is worth keeping?
I'm something like that, only with assholes.
So, I've heard from my sources that you and the illustrious Mrs. C plan to take your
Some of that
winter
disrupt
break somewhere a
propaganda
little
out.
different
Try not
this
to
year.
do that, Alex. We're watching
We're planning
you.
a walking holiday right here in the territories, which is different for us
Decided to
because,
make them
like you,
the
Megan,
story.
because
Someone, maybe, who'd rather you fear us than listen to us. Maybe the news has an agenda beyond impartiality. We do not condone violence and looting. We are not anarchists, but we do understand the anger of a voice silenced, and we believe that voice is worth fighting for.
Voltou.
smell much like team spirit to me. To say, when life gives you shite, make shite pie.
It works just as well with lemons and lemonade.
De
I
novo.
suppose it does.
10 weeks ago, Jeremy Donaldson took control of the national nightly news. He wanted to warn you about Altargrave and Grantham Downs and the dark science being conducted there. And he was right. There was a top-secret military lab at Grantham Downs and testing facilities in the tunnels deep under Altargrave. But they are no longer occupied. The project is complete or abandoned. The tunnels are collapsed. The labs are just empty rooms. Maybe one day we'll find out what they were doing there. And maybe we'll wish we hadn't. But without Jeremy Donaldson, we never would have known to look. And so today, we make him an officer of disrupt in absentia. Stay strong, Jeremy. You have friends.
Tá censurando o cara falando.
Let's face it, there are still
Nossa,
plenty of
bruxaria, o
people in
negócio
this
tá se
country
mexendo
who can
sozinho.
afford to lose a little bit of weight.
What are you implying? No, but seriously, Prime Minister, we know you're very busy, but one final question, if I may.
Oh, well, go on then.
When you get home from a long day, your head full of the territory's hopes and fears, what music do you listen to when you work out to take your mind off things?
Well, I know I've got a bit of a reputation for being an old fuddy-duddy, but I'd be lying if I didn't say there's something
Muito louco,
about
tipo, o
Little
4
C
tá
that
falando
just
que é a verdinho, né?
demands
Mas a gente não consegue usar o 4 tá
Well,
bloqueado.
let's hope you stay watching, Prime Minister, because she is going to be talking and performing live after the
Mas o
break.
3 a gente consegue.
Oh, I'll be watching. After all, as my old man used to say, everything's a treat on a boring Friday with nothing but the wind up your shunt.
It's Wednesday, Prime Minister.
I think the expression still stands.
Peter Clement, thank you for joining me. I don't know about you at home,
Propaganda
but
qual?
I think there's something kind of inspirational
Local
there.
C.
I know I feel safer. When we come back, Lil C is going to be giving us the debut performance of her new single, and I'll be getting to meet her. As her biggest fan, I don't mind telling you, I'm pretty excited. Don't go away. We'll be back after these messages.
1 minute back. Gripping stuff.
Was that even news?
I think you forgot to ask him what his favourite number is.
Oh, I must have forgotten that in all the excitement.
So assuming
Que horas que a gente vai usar isso, mano? Tô
What do you
curioso.
think's actually in that milk? I reckon it's the tears of his enemies.
You are one disturbed
Lágrima
individual.
dos inimigos. Rank D. Nossa, a gente foi tão ruim assim. Que triste. Mano, se a gente tirar a fita no meio.
The updated mixing desk. You'll need the new buttons during the next sections. First, we'll need applause when the guest enters and before her song. Don't worry, I'll walk you through it when we get there.
É agora. Nossa, agora que a gente vai controlar esse negócio vai ser complicado. A gente vai fazer literalmente uma edição ao vivo, velho. Fazer uma edição não ao vivo já é meio complicado, imagina fazer ao vivo. Que rolê. 7, 6, 5, 4. Que demora, né? Não tinha um botão pra ir mais rápido, não?
I've never heard of her before.
Oh, she's big, really big.
Really? Is she any good?
Nah, of course not. She dog shit. But kids go mad for her, absolutely mad.
5 in 10 seconds.
Hang on, Colin, you've got kids.
Yeah, I've got about 6 or 7, I think.
What?
5, 4, 3.
Thanks for coming back. Later, we have an exciting new feature that we just know you're going to love, so stay tuned for
That
that.
one was nice.
But first, I'm really excited for our next guest. She rose to prominence as the delightful Susie May in All My Daughter's Children's Men, before taking the music industry by storm this year with her debut album smashing the chart records at the age of just 20. Let's give it up and welcome Lil C!
Staff, excellent work.
Parece a série era grande, né?
May I just say, you look incredible.
Oh, thanks, babe. I'm doing this new regime and it really does work.
What's the regime?
And my manager suggested it to me. It basically involves bathing in like cabbage water and then having the leaves sucked out of you while you sleep.
Wow, is that healthy?
Oh, well, look at me, Meg. The leaves are my only nourishment.
Tá, é bem específico os momentos que a gente usa isso, não é qualquer hora, não.
Forgive me, but I'm somewhat of a super fan, so I'm sorry if I get a bit starstruck.
Oh, bless you. I've never actually heard of you before, so if you do get a little tongue-tied, I can always carry the interview.
Oh, that's good to know. So your first album, F My Face Together, it
My
hit
Face.
shelves this summer and it just exploded. I mean, what was that like for you?
Bonkers, just so weird. I was in all the papers and the magazines. Overnight, I went from that, like, annoying little girl from that show to that, like, sexy little girl from that show.
Wow, that must have been bizarre.
Not really. It was just like any other morning. You know, get up at 5, go on a 4-mile run, have 3 meetings on my cabbage bath, but then only then was my dad actually talking to me.
Oh, of course. I mean, the famed country singer, Billy Bob Jean Short. I didn't know you'd been estranged.
There's nothing that strange about it, Megan. Okay, yes, he may believe that aliens told him to hate women, but there really isn't anything to prove that he's wrong.
Uh-huh. So, this newfound explosion to your popularity, I mean, did that change your life?
Well, I had to start wearing, like, nice underwear, you know, for the paparazzi, but as my manager says, best to make the most of it before I'm 30.
Is that right? So, what's the album about?
So I thought it was about, like, how pretty and great I am, but actually it's about monetizing youth, I think, or about, like, promoting an unrealistic standard of beauty or something.
Your manager again.
Yeah, he says insecurity is an opportunity.
Oh, do you think he'd be happy with you telling us all this?
Telling you all what? It really doesn't matter what I say here. I'll do my dancing and then this part will all be forgotten about.
Oh. Well, yeah, I mean, we're going to see some of those famous dance moves very shortly because you're going to be performing your new single, aren't you?
Yeah, it's from my album Put It In My A Together and it's out tomorrow.
So soon, after the last one?
Oh yeah, I've actually released 2 albums since lunchtime and a clothing line during this interview.
Ah, não, eu vou pra música,
See,
mano.
this is called Cry for Help and it's going to be in all the best high street and retailer shops and it's out now. So girlies, you know what to do. Scream and
Esqueci de
cry
mudar a
until
câmera.
somebody gets it for you.
Ooh, there she goes. Blimey. All these projects, they're keeping you very busy, aren't they? It must be tough.
Yeah, it can get tough and I hate it sometimes and I hate
Doing
myself. I
música.
just want to, like, cry into a bath of root veg. But then I think thousands of girls would do anything to be me, so I must be quite lucky.
Well, you...
Defend your right to information. We will resist and we will disrupt.
Around the arse.
Imagina,
I
né?
think things could have been different, you know, like better. But I don't know. I love doing autographs and having somebody dress me and tell me what to wear.
Deus.
Did you always want to do music?
Well, ever since I was a little girl, I did. I'd sit in front of the radio, and as soon as my favourite girl group would come on, I'd press record on my cassette. But then my dad would come in and tell me to turn it off and to go back upstairs and start practising again.
Oh, sorry, is your dad your manager?
Yeah, which can be tough. And sometimes when it gets really hard, he'll say, "Make Quagler proud and you might just survive childbirth."
Well, you know what, despite anything, you'll make me proud.
Oh, If only your opinion was as valuable as his.
And on that problematic note, you're going to be singing your song for us soon, aren't you? Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
So it's called These Babies Gonna Bring You Home, and I actually got sent the lyrics in the car on the way up here. But you know what? It's actually all right. And don't worry, all my work is team approved.
All right then. Well, you can go and get ready for that. We'll see you in a little bit. It was a very specific type of pleasure to chat to her, and I just can't wait to hear this. Oh, so here's Lil C with an exclusive first performance of her new track, These Babies Gonna Bring You Home. Take it away.
It's the force's favorite.
E lá vamos nós para mais uma música.
Here to break in your blockades. Lil C.
Operador de câmera assim. Muito bom. Daqui é literalmente aquele tipo de coisa que a gente não sabia que queria. até existir.
I want that meet you back and only you can feel that crack in me. I'm under siege, so come and free me. Ain't no disruption here, boy, I got no agenda. Just want the team and me, no dirty foreign member. Don't stop the morning drill, there's holes in me that ain't been filled yet. I only scream this loud when you do your country proud. I ain't no vicar's daughter, common Spanish on my border. Quick before
Eu acho que eu tenho que trocar no ritmo da música.
me like an enemy soldier. An enemy soldier.
É isso mesmo.
So let them try and break our dream. We fight and love and die.
Eu tenho que ir num ritmo frequente aqui, senão a gente erra.
Come and break my sanctions.
Ou não, né? Não sei. Perdemos tudo.
53, but gave to save her family. There's no one judging me if I'm the one that's in your fantasy. Don't die alone, these babies gonna bring you home. I ain't no vicar's daughter, common Spanish on my border. Quick before I get much older, tie me down and pull me like an enemy soldier. An enemy soldier.
Ó, vezes 6.
So what a Peter Clemens boys can come and use me as a toy and flip me over, grab my hair, rip off my clothes and dump them there. I wanna see some action, so come and break my sanctions.
Eita caramba. Mais 18. Quer dizer, né? Ainda não é sempre mais 18, mas não chegou a hora ainda pra isso. Perdi todo o meu bônus. Opa! A outra ali só olhando. Meu Deus, o que tá acontecendo?
Well, if that doesn't distract you from the world outside, I don't know what will.
Meu Deus.
I'd like to thank Lil C.
Oh, mas chegou a vezes 8, acho que tá bom, né?
Don't go anywhere.
Não foi o
After
máximo,
the break,
né, mas...
We'll finally be revealing the new segment of our show that we just know you're gonna love. We'll be back right after this.
Comercial.
And we're out.
Ufa.
Can I just say, thank you so much for letting me do this. It really means a lot to me, you know.
Yeah.
To be able to promote myself on such a mainstream platform like the news.
Well, don't worry about it. And you know what? Good luck for the future. Take care of yourself. This industry can be crazy sometimes. Watch out for that father of yours, won't you?
Oh, no. I manage myself. It's just, you know, for the public to have that certain perspective of me. You know what it's like.
Oh, right.
And Michael? Michael?
What about Billy Bob Jean shorts?
Oh, my dad. He's such a sweetheart. We both had the same agents, you know, like it just made sense. Both of us for our image together.
Wow.
And Michael,
Uma coisa que eu fico impressionado
the clothing line and get me a G&T before my meeting
é as coisas serem gravadas desse jeito, assim, tipo, acho tudo num plano sequência, sei lá. E ok, tiramos rank B. Foi bom. Não foi tão ruim assim. Agora a gente vai ter liberdade pra usar. Eu fico impressionado como, né, os caras gravam o negócio tudo direto assim, praticamente. Não tem corte nenhum, não tem erro. Quer dizer, talvez tenha erro, mas, né, como parece uma entrevista mesmo, então fica meio disfarçado. Parece que aconteceu ali na hora, ao vivo. Só que não parece.
5, 4, 3.
Thanks for joining us for part 3. We've been teasing you about our new feature all night, and now the wait is finally over. I can reveal that every night on the show, we'll be treated to an episode of an informative and hilarious new segment called The Notice Board. It stars some top talent and we're very excited about it. But before we see it, let's have a quick chat with the writer, director and phenomenon, may I say, Jeff Algebra, guys!
Actually, I've dropped the
Ah, tá, a gente pode deixar escolhido na hora. Antes, né? Aí depois ele vai tocar.
Very fancy. I suppose you need a new name now that you're a successful artiste.
Well, exactly. I'm earning enough to pay taxes now.
Oh.
It's shit.
And how does Angela feel about all this?
Who?
Your wife.
Oh,
oh, God, no. No, she's long gone. No, she was holding me back. I'm with Norm now. We were married last month.
Norm de Plume.
Yeah.
And why did you write this? What was your inspiration?
Oh, well, I received a telephone call offering me 25 grand to write a pro-team sitcom. And I heard my father's voice. It said, Jeff, you listen here, boy.
Mano, essa câmera 4
make hay while the sun shines. You wring every penny you can get out of this. So I wheeled him down to the transition centre, got out my typewriter and started clacking.
Wow.
Utter shite.
And without further ado, let's give it up for the notice board.
Não foi.
You have to play a sound effect, Alex.
Eu não consegui. Mas não tá indo, tem que ser muito rápido.
Alex, if you keep this up, you'll win the notice board. Ending actors won't be happy.
Good morning, Miss Craven.
Oh, morning, Ray.
Everything all right, Mrs. Craven? You look as worried as the vicar in closing time.
Tá, o verdinho é o bom, né? O outro pode ser também, mas...
My shop again.
No!
Yes! They've written all sorts of obscene language and crude pictures, and I know it's those damn youths.
I don't know. It could be the vicar at closing time.
I'm just worried they won't ever become productive members of the community. What if they never see the error of their ways and end up as social outcasts, such as shoplifters or bong rats?
Don't worry, Mrs. Craven. This is a very supportive community, and I'm sure that in time they will fit into this society like this key into this lock.
Agora tá indo, né? O outro não tava querendo ir. Ele não consegue.
See? Works like a charm.
What a lovely way to put it, Ray. And just like that, we can unlock their future.
Yes. Wow! Look at all the letters in my collection today.
Oh!
I think that one's addressed to me.
Opa. Ai, caramba.
This one? Oh, so you're right. Here it is.
Ele prendeu a mão ali, é sério.
It's a letter from my granddaughter, Brenda. She says she got an A on her maths exam because one of her friends has been helping her. She was always a team player, was our Brenda.
What's up, losers?
Ai, não foi.
Oh!
Nada aconteceu.
It's Brad. He's the coolest guy in the village.
That's right. I just got here on my motorbike.
Oh, clear off, Brad. We don't want any of your ilk around here.
What?
Ele com a mão presa ali ainda.
No, ruffians. Have you come to tag the notice board with your gang signs?
No way. I've actually come to pin my resume on that notice board. I'm looking to do some tutoring after school.
What? Did you say tutoring?
That's right. Maths is very important. Would you mind, Ray?
Not at all.
Mano. Ai, double.
So you, a young person, have been spending your time helping others and not just urinating on churches or huffing glue?
Hey, I haven't huffed glue for months.
Well, blow me down!
You know what? We misjudged you based on how young and cool you are and not on your actions.
No doy.
So it wasn't you who vandalised my shop last night or called me a rancid old crone from the back of a chopper?
No way. It can't have been me. I was too busy helping my friend Brenda with her maths homework.
Could you speak up there? I thought for a minute there that you said Brenda.
I did, you daft old sow.
Did you hear that, Ray?
Oh, yes, what a wonderful surprise. I now respect you as a man.
Put her there, Ray. Oh, what the heck? Give us a hug.
Algo tá acontecendo, meu Deus. Agora que eu entendi o que a cara tava fazendo, mano. Ele quebrou uma perna do quadro, acho, sei lá. E aí ele foi tentar segurar com a perna. Isso daí não foi uma bomba não, né? Espero que não.
Sorry to interrupt the first groundbreaking episode of the notice board, but we're receiving some breaking news.
Breaking news.
I'm being told we're picking up reports from across the continent of what appear to be... Oh God, what appear to be nuclear explosions in 4 major foreign cities. Initial estimates put the death toll into the millions. I'm being told that we're experiencing some power fluctuations as a result, so apologies to any interruption to the broadcast for you at home. And now I am told that we are going live to team headquarters for an emergency broadcast from Prime Minister Julia Salisbury at any moment. Yes, let's go to that now.
Good evening, citizens and leaders of the world. Minutes ago, operatives working for advanced detonated nuclear explosives simultaneously in 4 major cities across the continent.
Bomba, realmente teve bomba então.
We have similar devices in 58 other urban centres and will not hesitate to detonate them if our conditions are not met in full and without delay. The people of our territory will no longer tolerate your illegal and genocidal blockade. You are to remove it immediately. We will accept nothing less than your unconditional surrender. Your territories will be taken under our control. We will install replacement governments to ensure that your citizens become part of the new future. Your borders are now our borders. Your people are our people.
I don't know if you can hear me. I don't know if you are receiving this, but if you are, then you have to know. You have to know what's being done. What's being done right now to our neighbours. This is unprecedented. Our government has committed multiple acts of mass destruction in our name.
At our territory, or harm a single one of our...
Nor do I care how you voted. You didn't vote for this. None of us did. This can't be. We are waiting further news and... Oh. What if they respond?
We will expect your complete acceptance of our terms by midnight tonight. Thank you.
Saíram muito rápido, velho.
Well, okay, so there you have it. Advance making a brave move that looks likely to end the war in this, its 20th week. There's a lot to take in here, and I know you, like me, will be wondering if this is too much. If we've gone too far. But I'm thinking of our sick and ill, denied their medicines, the children with no food on their plates, and the body bags returning from the front line. And I ask myself if, without some big, bold gesture, it would ever stop, and I do not think it ever would. We elected Advance to make this country better for us all, and it was working.
Subindo a audiência sem eu fazer nada.
Then the rest of the world looked at us and they said this cannot be seen to succeed. And they brought their warships and their tanks and their planes just to make sure that we were instead seen to suffer. To make sure no one anywhere would ever attempt this again. So, to my mind, our government have taken the only path available to them. A difficult decision for their hearts to bear, but one that ultimately we can respect because it is designed to keep us safe. And while this is unquestionably a dark night, it may indeed presage the dawn of a new future. My name's Megan Wolf. Let's make tomorrow better.
And we're out.
Do you ever get the
Quase que
feeling
esqueci
that
da
we can
propaganda.
history?
Nossa senhora, que capítulo é esse, hein? Transmissão concluída. GG, mais um capítulo. Meu Deus. Eu tô tão... Mano, eu tava tão concentrado ali em fazer o negócio certinho, né? Não perder o sinal que... Eu quase não prestei muita atenção no que eles estavam falando. Os arquivos, os jogadores se confundem muito nesse jogo. Eu teria que reassistir, mas não vou fazer isso agora, que senão, né? Ó, vamos continuando. DBC. É com a DBZ. Nossa senhora, horrível. Palavras obscenas apareceram na transmissão, programa sem interferência, uma edição péssima, se eu dou um anúncio tarde demais. A interrupção arruinou a transmissão. Não, foi aquela hora, né, que caiu... Foi... Não tinha muito o que fazer, não. Opa. Pode pagar o café. Caramba. Transmissões, tá, calma. Volta. Invasores da interrupção. O que era isso aqui? Como assim jogar? Eu fiz uma conquista.
As some of you will know, I spoke today to the people of Manklypool, and apparently after I had left, there was some violence and looting. This always intrigues me because the crowd I speak to...
Daqui é o que tocou no meio das transmissões lá? Acho que é, né? Dia 371, uma resposta proporcional. O resto do seu tempo, do seu turno, passa como um borrão, com as mesmas palavras girando na sua mente. Agentes da Advance detonaram explosivos nucleares. Estimativas iniciais calculam que o número de mortos é na casa dos milhões. Isso aconteceu mesmo? Você para na entrada da garagem sem se lembrar da viagem até a sua casa. A luz da sala da frente está acesa. Alguém ainda está acordado. A porta da sala de estar se abre com um rangindo. Você encontra Sam no sofá, encarando a TV. A tela está apagada e ela parece estar perdida em pensamentos. Você se senta ao lado dela. Ao lado deles. Não era só a Sam? E põe uma mão reconfortante no ombro deles, ou dela no caso, né? Ela se assusta com seu toque, que a tira do torpor. Ela tentar sorrir. Ok, mais um erro aí. Ela tenta sorrir, mas você percebe que é um sorriso tenso. Descubra. Cara, não sabe ler mais. Desculpa, não te vi entrar. Eu tava pensando. Sam para e balança a cabeça. Tantas pessoas. Não consigo acreditar. Eu sei, terrível, uma atrocidade. Todas aquelas pessoas, aquelas pobres pessoas. Como é que alguém pode achar isso normal? Os olhos de Sam estão brilhando de raiva e quando olha para você, fica claro que ela está esperando que você concorde. Eu sei que a gente nunca concordou com o governo, mas eu nunca achei que eles eram capazes disso. Éramos nós ou eles. Eles teriam matado todo mundo de fome se a Advance não tivesse assumido. Tinha que ter outro caminho, matar milhões de pessoas nunca é resposta. Um alívio toma o rosto de Sam. Exatamente, nenhum argumento no mundo justificaria o assassinato de tantos inocentes. Sam beija você antes de ir para a cozinha enquanto anda, olha para trás e diz: temos sorte de você poder fazer a diferença e ajudar as pessoas a saberem o que está acontecendo de verdade. Mas será que é tão simples assim? Caraca! Meu Deus! A gente vai bater 2 anos daqui a pouco. Dia 713, um êxodo acadêmico. Parece uma manhã comum, mas ao chegar ao trabalho você encontra um grupinho reunido na sala de descanso. Quando você entra para pegar a primeira xícara de chá do dia, sem querer você ouve uma conversa animada. Você não soube? Tem mais um desaparecido. E quantos são no total agora? Acho que mais de 100 a essa altura, mas nem todos foram denunciados ou noticiados ainda. Com licença, o que está acontecendo? Uma jovem empolgada se vira para você e começa a explicar. Outro professor da Universidade de Queensville desapareceu, com todos os outros desaparecimentos no último ano, cientistas, doutores, pesquisadores. Ela faz uma pausa antes de baixar a voz até um sussurro. Tá claro que é a interrupção caçando opositores. Eu até ouvi dizer que a Advance está tentando evitar mais. Uma voz grave e conhecida atrás de você interrompe. O que está acontecendo aqui? Um silêncio toma a sala quando todos vocês se viram juntos para a porta. Bozeman pigarreia antes de continuar. Eu já falei que não quero ouvir falar desses supostos desaparecimentos. Vamos lá, pessoal. A Advance já deixou muito claro que não há motivos para se preocupar com eles. O que significa que eles não são problemas nossos. E a menos que eles comecem a classificar os caputinos como intelectuais. Acho que ninguém aqui tem motivo para se preocupar. É melhor voltar ao trabalho. Bozeman levanta a mão para segurar você enquanto todos os outros saem da sala. Olha, eu sei que você tem o hábito de fazer o que quer, mas as coisas estão diferentes agora. A Advance está no controle e deixou claro o que pensa. Então agora eu vou fazer a mesma coisa. A oposição oficial do Channel One é que o governo está controlando bem as... coisas, nada mais, nada menos. Acredito que eu não vou mais ouvir falar disso. Ele acena rapidamente com a cabeça antes de sair. Parece que, para o bem ou para o mal, a estatização está a todo vapor. Dois anos. Feliz ano novo de novo! O próximo acho que é em 1000 e pouco, né? 1000 e poucos dias, 3 anos. Uma carreira em formação, dia 850. Você tamborila os dedos no volante, impaciente, enquanto espera pelo Charlie de novo. É ótimo ele estar gostando dos cadetes coesos e estar tão entusiasmado, mas ele precisa mesmo ficar para trás toda semana para ajudar? Afinal de contas, a sua noite de sábado também. É sua noite de sábado também. Você finalmente o vê saindo do corredor com um sorriso no rosto. Você não consegue evitar um sorriso também, com a frustração começando a diminuir quando você o vê tão feliz. Depois de se despedir dos amigos com abraços, Charlie vai para o carro e entra, com o rosto vermelho de empolgação. E aí, como foi? Você é interrompido porque ele não consegue mais se controlar. Adivinha? Que foi? Você também sorri? Tá bem, Charlie, se acalma e me diz o que foi. Tá, você também sorri. Então, obviamente os cadetes coesos são um ponto de partida para se tornar um ACO. Então, temos uma vantagem quando nos candidatamos. Charlie fala com entusiasmo, claramente empolgado com a explicação da novidade, quase tropeçando nas palavras para te contar. Bem, parece que a partir do ano que vem, os 5% dos cadetes mais bem colocados vão ser levados para um programa especial para se tornar GCCs, Gerentes de Coesão Comunitária. E adivinha quem vai estar lá? Ele está radiante. Que ótima notícia, Charlie, temos muito orgulho de você. Entendi o que exatamente esses gerentes de coesão comunitária fazem. Basicamente eles precisam de uma nova equipe que coloque em contato pessoas normais, os ACOs e o departamento de melhoria. E nós vamos ser essa equipe, as pessoas vão trazer as preocupações para nós, e nós vamos decidir se elas precisam de transferência e para qual departamento. Legal, né? Parece ótimo, parabéns amigão, então você vai ajudar as pessoas a denunciarem os amigos e vizinhos? Acho que sim, mas só as pessoas mais, o negócio é ajudar a comunidade. Deixar tudo mais seguro pra todo mundo. Charlie franze a testa pra você. Você não gosta dos ACOs? Nem das equipes de melhoria? Não é isso, esquece, parabéns amigão, tô orgulhoso de você. Só tô preocupado de que eles terem poder demais e de colocar as pessoas umas contra as outras. Você tá começando a falar que nem as pessoas que a Advance tá tentando ajudar. Charlie, olha sério pra você. Charlie, olha sério pra você. Não se preocupe. Vou dar um jeito de todo mundo receber o apoio necessário. É uma coisa boa pra comunidade e a equipe vai poder ajudar todo mundo. Ele faz um sinal com a cabeça e se recosta no assento. O clima do carro fica meio frio durante o resto da viagem pra casa. Você espera que não seja um sinal do que está por vir. Pois é, tá. Você espera que não seja um sinal do que está por vir. Mano, 850 já. 872. Uma faísca para acender as chamas. Meu Deus. Depois de descer para tomar o café da manhã, a paz e o silêncio revelam que o resto da sua família ainda deve estar dormindo. Você decide comer na sala de estar e ver um pouco de TV enquanto pode, antes que alguém monopolize o aparelho. Notícias de última hora. Há vários relatos vindos de todo o país de que grandes faixas de terreno agrícola foram incendiadas ontem à noite como parte do que as autoridades estão chamando de ato de terrorismo horrível e bem planejado do grupo conhecido como interrupção. Você deixa a colher do mingau e aumenta o volume. Além das lojas de alimentos, que as fontes do governo disseram que vão causar tensão nos centros de menu universal em todo o país, diversos edifícios municipais e da ACO foram alvos do ataque de ontem à noite. De acordo com a primeira-ministra Julia Salisbury, prisões e instalações da redução e melhoria específica foram invadidas e um pequeno grupo de indivíduos problemáticos e potencialmente perigosos foi arrancado à força da detenção. Você prende a respiração, esperando para saber se alguém se machucou. Infelizmente, parece que os ACOs estavam mal preparados para um evento como este, e a interrupção parecia muito mais eficaz e organizada em comparação a eles. Mano, pior que o filho dele, né, tava nisso. Ele ia virar um ACO, não é? Será que ele já virou? Embora a maioria dos locais alvejados felizmente estivessem vazias pelo adiamento da hora, os centros da melhoria estavam com todos os funcionários quando foram atacados. 17 ACOs e funcionários administrativos e 4 funcionários administrativos perderam a vida por causa das ações brutais da interrupção na noite passada, além de incontáveis feridos, muitos gravemente que foram levados às pressas para o hospital. Alguns membros da interrupção foram capturados nos conflitos, mas a grande maioria parece ter fugido da captura até o momento. Mais sobre o assunto ao longo da programação. Você desliga a TV, mano. Ser interrompido por Charlie entrando na sala de estar com os olhos inchados e uma torrada. Alguma coisa interessante acontecendo? Ele aponta para a TV. Ah tá, o Charlie tá aqui. Nossa, que susto. Calado, você deixou o noticiário ligado enquanto a notícia é repetida. Charlie assiste em silêncio, calmo. No fim da transmissão, ele chama o evento de A Noite do Fogo. Vai ficar tudo bem, tá? Vai dar tudo certo, amigão? Espero que sim, vamos ver. $912. Mano, muito tempo isso. Ok, transmissão.